John Jershman, and me in the room at the II. And then Mike Quinlan, David Atkin, Beatrice Sutton, Eric Mulder, John Jershman, oh, John is in here too, Josh Lallement, Kevin Gulbranson, he is proxy for Bruce, campaigns director, Mike Spalding, Steve Gallant, and Ross Klopp. And has everybody read the agenda? Are there any changes?
This is David.
Yes, David.
I'd like to add an item to spend $100 on the Delta postcards.
Okay, go ahead and add it. It's a. Is there any objection to adding this item onto the agenda? Anything else needed to be added to the agenda? Any objections to the agenda? Anything that needs to be added to the agenda other than what David just proposed? People on the board can. Without any other changes, the agenda is approved. We will move on to introducing the guests we just did. Is there anybody else that just came in? All right, would any of the guests like to speak?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood, if you would mind speaking into my computer.
Good evening. I'm Frank Atwood. I happen to be your liaison to Center Right Coalition that meets here in the morning. And different topics covered were Independence Institute is pushing 2 ballot measures, one's with regards to transportation and gas taxes, one's with regards to income tax reduction. We heard a report from State Party GOP. We heard Grover Norquist, Ted Bishop from Douglas School Boards. Also, Western Conservative Summit will be held in June 18th to 19th. And FASTER, that is a training program for school administrators and teachers, is continuing their ammo drive in order to continue classes. With regards to approval voting, I happen to be involved and look forward to convention discussing approval voting and especially ranked choice voting in Maine and whether or not the Libertarian Party got more viability and visibility thanks to ranked choice voting and the effort there. I'm eager to see if granted, I'm pushing approval voting, but if ranked choice voting happens to be getting the viability and visibility that we hope for, maybe that might be a better method. I personally think that have my own opinions, so look forward to this discussion during convention. Any questions?
I saw a really interesting article that came out of VII on different voting methods.
Yes, I just saw it also. I haven't read it yet, but it's out there.
Thank you very much, Frank.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else in the room would like to speak? That is a guest. Any other guest would like to speak? Without hearing any, is there any guests online that would like to speak? Yes.
Could you check in with Jose for why he's here?
Oh, Jose, would you like to say something?
I'm kind of learning still, but I'm really interested in the Libertarian Party. I originally, when I first registered to vote, when I was 18, I registered as a vote, and I probably would have voted for like Mitt Romney or something like that back in 2008. If I could have. I've come down here and I'm not really happy with what's going on, like in our country, not at all. I was kind of reluctant to come down here because I have a criminal record, but that's from when I was 18. And, I've already paid my dues and I've learned a lot. And I was still kind of reluctant to come and show my face because, like, once you have past mistakes, it seems like you get, crucified for it. And I don't know, I just can't stand what's going on right now. And I just want to see what I can do to, be supportive, and because I don't like socialism and communism.
Welcome, Jose. Where do you live? What county?
Logan County.
Logan County. Where's that?
That's my old county.
That's your old county.
That's Sterling.
Sterling. We have a development group in
Holyoke.
Phillips County in Holyoke,
Which is not far.
which is not too far.
I don't even
Yeah.
think it's that far.
Yeah.
South of it. Where are you at in Logan County?
Right in the middle, downtown.
Oh, you're in Sterling.
Sterling.
So you're about 45 minutes away
It's about 2 hours away.
from
Oh,
Holyoke.
Holyoke. I think it's about an hour. Yeah.
Hour?
Yeah.
Because they
We
do
a
have,
meeting next month.
they do have a meeting next month, and they had one this month.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. I guess. This time,
Awesome. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
but thank you.
And we don't care about your criminal record. You've already paid your dues. We don't care.
I came down here to help here. I just want to, I don't care if someone finds out my criminal record.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for my future and the future of my family.
Right, right. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you being here. Anyone else? No? Anybody on Zoom that would like to say something of our guests? No? Okay, we will move on with the agenda. Anyone from Adams County? No, Arapahoe?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to speak for Arapahoe.
Go ahead, Mr. Mulder.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Eric Mulder, the Libertarian Party of Arapahoe County Chair, switching hats from my state vice chair role for a moment. Arapahoe Happy Hour is going to be tomorrow. Kevin Gilbranson and Michelle Pogue have once again graciously offered their home to us to use as our meeting place. Our guest speaker is going to be joining us from Zoom, and it is going to be Lisa Reville, the executive director of the Harm Reduction Center in Denver. She'll be zooming in on this meeting. Harm Reduction Center's been an advocate for safe injection sites, and they're the ones who pass out the Stop the War on Drugs stickers that you see at Pride Fest and places like that. So you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be at 6:30, Kevin and Michelle's place. We'll also have a Zoom link if you want to meet us on Zoom. Just email me at chair@lparapahoe.org or reach out on Facebook.
Thank you, Mr. Mulder.
An addendum to that, please, Madam Chairman.
Yes,
There will be hot dogs and hamburgers available at actually no expense to attendees. However, we, as always, will accept donations to the affiliate.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbranson, and thank you for opening your house for the meeting. Anyone from Boulder County? Chaffee County, they had an amazing meeting yesterday. No, the day before yesterday, and they are ready to affiliate. They were writing down their bylaws and have already elected a chair and treasurer, so that's pretty amazing stuff. Delta, anyone from Delta? Is Steve here? Steve, would you speak to the meeting in Delta that's coming up?
So on April 28th at 7 p.m., we're going to have an online meeting, virtual meeting for the Delta affiliate, and look for some new activists and potentially some new leadership. And we have postcards going out to promote that. So if you're on the board or you want to join in just to help out, it's April 28th, 7 p.m. Delta County, virtually.
Thank you, Mr. Gallant. Denver.
Question for Mr. Gallant.
Pardon?
Question for Mr. Gallant.
Who was that?
Vice Chair.
Mr. Mulder, go ahead.
How do we get the Zoom link from you?
It is going to be Victoria's room.
It is on the, David Atkins should have put it up on the website with the meeting as well.
Got it.
Yeah, it is not this room. It's a different Zoom link, but same Zoom account. Denver, go ahead.
Next LP Denver meetup will be on Tuesday, April 20th at 6:30 at Brew Bar. And we don't have any guest speaker this month, but our main discussion topic will be about vaccine passports.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ferry. Douglas County, Mr. Harlos, if you wouldn't mind speaking to my computer.
Wayne Harlos, Chair of the Douglas County Libertarian Party. Had a great meeting this last 2 weeks. We had two of our county commissioners showed up. Lord Thomas showed up on time. George Teal showed up late. And our other planned attendee, Abe Layden, did not make it at all. He got tied up in another meeting. But we had a good meeting, good turnout, and it was a lot of fun.
Was there about 30 people there?
32.
Way to go, Douglas County. El Paso County. Hang on, let me do this. Or do you want to speak into mine?
Also had a pretty good turnout at the Arcade Gun Show on date last month anyway. We're going to attend the Tanner Gun Show this coming weekend, and this time it's going to be a 3-day deal. They start on Friday at 3 to 7, and then Saturday it's normal hours, 9 to 5, 9 to 4. On 15. Tax day is killed, which is at I-25 and Woodman. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Mr. Gershman. Mesa County. Pueblo. Is someone from Pueblo County? I see Mr. Pickerel's not here, and neither is Jim Wiley. Okay.
Jefferson.
Jefferson County, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Ross, Chair of the Libertarian Party of Jefferson County. Some exciting news this month. First of all, our Facebook page just passed the Jefferson County Republican page in number of likes, and we've been ahead of them in engagement for a while. So that's some big news. Our monthly meeting is going to be on Thursday, the 15th at Holiday Lanes and Billiards in Lakewood off Colfax. We have a really exciting guest speaker. We have Leah Raffaelli. I might have pronounced her name incorrectly, but she's actually in charge of the Convention of the States for Colorado. And very important topic, because right now at the federal level, we really need a balanced budget amendment. This budget situation is out of control. So that's what we'll be talking about. We'll also have another discussion item about the vaccine passports as well, and how dangerous those could be. So those will be the two main topics. I hope you could make it.
Thank you, Mr. Klopp. LNC report?
Oh,
Ms. Harlos? Is there anything to report from the LNC?
Not particularly. We're working on getting an LNC meeting scheduled for June. And that's pretty much all everyone's been working on in that historical, the anniversary thing that might be happening here. Well, almost definitely will be happening in Denver in August. So that's what everyone's been really busy on. It's been kind of quiet.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Harlos. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes? Are there any objections or changes to the minutes? Not hearing any, the minutes are approved. Calendar items. Mr. Spalding, are there any calendar items?
Yes, we have several. Let me run through them. Okay, the deadline for members submitted changes to our bylaws, constitution, and platform, and this is not from the committees, this is just from the Libertarian members, is the 21st of this month.
21st of
April.
Okay.
And then it's based on a number of days before the convention. And then committee reports for changes to these documents were due on the 9th. I assume all that came in. The national delegate applications should be posted by the 21st. Although we don't have a national delegation, so I don't think that applies this year, right? Okay. And then the required convention call and newspaper notice have already occurred.
Yeah, that already happened.
Right. So those are our calendar items.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so it's done. Did we get the platform committee report?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, perfect. Well, we will start with officer reports. I am going to be a pest and read something because I would like our membership, our board of directors, to know what is going out from me, and it's on the website, but it is very important that we understand this. And the problem with identity politics is your personal values are connected to your political party, and you defend the values of your political party within resolute righteousness. For identity politics to work, there must be a glorious hero, and the hero shines in the sunlight. The hero is a protector of the weak and the helpless. And there must be a wicked villain. The villain lurks in the darkness. The villain is the cause of misery and despair. Since March of 2020, we have been assaulted with glorious heroes and wicked villains. And now in April of 2021, we stand in a muddy field and watch as the cold COVID winter snow begins to melt. As we look up the mountains and we see butterflies and wildflowers beginning to appear, we see the hope of summer's warmth. But spring is stalled as talking points pro and con for the COVID passport become the latest sound waves reflecting back into the media echo chamber. These talking points bounce like a rubber ball into the gray, bare walls, lining the hearts of the weary and stressed people who ache for the sunlight of their loved ones. The Libertarian Party of Colorado aches with you. We yearn for the sunlight of our loved ones also. We will not argue that showing proof of vaccination is a new idea. It's not. We accept that we are barred from entering some countries without proof of inoculation from certain diseases. We also will not argue that there are problems with hastily issued vaccination programs. A paper, Reflections on the 1976 Swine Flu Vaccination Program, which can be found on the CDC website, provides a very good example of this. As libertarians, we believe that the decision to be vaccinated, as with all personal medical choices, should be left to the individual. Establishing a COVID passport will hurt people, not help them. When governments or corporations tell you that they will protect your data, they're lying. Once your data is out there, you cannot pull it back. Government and corporations do not protect data. They exploit it, and we can prove this. If you're registered in Colorado, go to voterrecords.com and enter your name into the database. Your name, unless you've opted out of this database, your name will appear with your voter status. Click on your name and a new page will appear. It'll have your address, your relatives, and all of the information that you have, that they have on you. It will even give you a map to your house. This page will have a great deal of personal information, which will include all of the information I just gave you. And all this information came from the government. At the top of the page, it will say, if you look for a US representative or senator, at the top of the page, it'll show 0 voter records for those people. It's because our congressional representatives removed their information from this database. If our elected officials in Congress understand the value of keeping their personal information off the internet, and they actively take precautionary steps to do this, why are you voluntarily handing it over? Members of Congress know how to protect themselves from data tracking systems. Ordinary citizens do not. Our educationally limited and financially limited communities are the most vulnerable if a COVID vaccine passport is implemented. They are the most likely to be the victims of identity theft and will suffer long-term fallout from criminal and credit assassination by data mining predators. Your information belongs to you. Yes, health is important, but your data is stolen. It will directly impact your ability to obtain health care. Colorado, it's been a long, cold COVID winter and summer is almost here. The Libertarian Party of Colorado hopes everyone will be able to spend the summer of 2021 with the people they love. But as libertarians, we believe that we cannot hurt people and we cannot take their things. We ask Colorado Republicans and Democrats to lay down their political weapons and stand with us on this issue. The COVID passport has a strong potential to hurt vulnerable populations and steal their data. Coloradans have a reputation for independence and fairness. Resisting the COVID passport is consistent with both the Colorado values and can be defended with resolute righteousness, no matter what your political affiliation is. One more thing, please remove your information from voterrecords.com and tell others to do so also. If you'd like more information, feel free to contact us. I hope that you all remove your information from voterrecords.com. This information came straight from the government. You can opt out, but it's out there without our knowledge and without our consent. And imagine what would happen if a COVID passport vaccine would happen, where they have all of our information, including our medical data, out there for anyone to see. I have nothing else to add to my report. Mr. Vice Chair?
Only thing I would like to add to my report is that coming up this Saturday at 4 p.m., we will be doing a phone banking. We will be calling up registered libertarians and inviting them to get out to the convention. This is going to be a good time. If you want to know more information, it'll be at Kevin and Michelle's place. Reach out to the party. We could always use help calling people, because this isn't just to call people to convention. This also helps us comb through our database, making sure that the phone numbers we have are up to date. And unlike the other two parties, we understand spamming people's phone numbers isn't appropriate. So come on out, phone bank with us. It'll be a good time.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, that was me. And let me move this and okay, now go ahead.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add. Okay. Thank you. Affiliates.
Let's see, March 18th, Jeffco had their annual elections, their board elections were held. The Douglas County meeting, which was referenced earlier, that had a great turnout. And then Victoria and Kevin and Michelle and I went to the inaugural meeting of the Phillips County Development Group. And Hannah Goodman there is just getting started, but she's going to keep holding meetings until she has an affiliate. And again, on April 28th at 7 p.m., we'll have the Delta County LP reboot meeting, and that will be virtual. And that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Gallant. Fundraising.
Nothing to add. Thank you.
Campaigns. Mr. Goldbranson.
Speaking on behalf of Bruce, he did not file a report this month, so I guess I have nothing to add to the report that doesn't exist. Bruce apologizes. He's in Southern California with some family issues that he's dealing with that may take some time. So that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Goldbranson. Outreach. Mr. Cavan.
Hey, how's it going? So I have nothing to add to my report, but I do have an announcement. So the Mises Caucus is planning an event. Actually, well, they already planned it. Saturday, May 22nd, the second night of the convention from 7:30 to 11 p.m.
A caucus that is happening outside of the convention. It is not allowed on this board meeting.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Thank you.
sure.
Legislative. We don't have a legislative director.
You hear that?
Membership. Membership is not present. Communications.
Yes, I just want to reiterate some report stuff. I want to thank our chairman for the press release that it was put in an article in Denver Post this past month about the vaccine passports. I encourage everyone to go read that. We're the first and only voice of opposition to the passports in Colorado. And I have set up a MeWe and Parler account for the LPCO. I have to publish the one for MeWe. But my early observations is that I think our focus should be on MeWe because I think Parler is kind of rough and very limited reach unless someone wants to volunteer is really enthusiastic about it. I think our focus should be on MeWe. So that's all I have.
Thank you,
Victoria?
Judge. Yes, who's this?
Mike has a question for the reporter.
Go ahead.
So we got MeWe and Parler accounts. Would it help for all of us to join those? And did you send out, or could you send out a link so everybody could join?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thanks.
I'll put it on Facebook and maybe the website. Maybe we can get it on the website.
I have a
Okay.
question. Did you figure out the Hootsuite?
I still have to talk to Karen Ann because apparently I keep trying to get on to it and it says that we already have an account, but I use the communications information and it acts like someone else owns it. So, and I think she was the last one that used it. So I just haven't had time to talk to her yet.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Secretary?
Here I am. Nothing to add to the report, but I did have a couple of quick questions. This is for David Atkin. I saw you added Paul Tiger as a user for our database. There's some conflict in Boulder going on right now over party leadership, i.e. Boulder party leadership. Is there any impact on the use, or can we keep it open to all Boulder participants?
If Paul is I think Paul is the only Boulder person who has access to it. I'm willing to give access to anyone in Boulder who's an officer.
Okay.
So nobody else has expressed any sort of interest.
All right, that makes it easy. And then for Mark with outreach, do we have any outreach events coming up? Is People's Fair happening this year? There's several other really good outreach events that we've done over the summer in the past that need to be signed up for now, I believe.
Should I have received like an email about it? Or is there a document somewhere that lists all the events?
I think we have both of those. I used to get the email, but they go to outreach now. So I don't know if they're not happening at all, then they wouldn't send you an email. But if you want, I can.
Yeah, what is the name of the event? I'm sorry.
Well, start with People's Fair. Some of the other members probably remember several of the others that we used to do.
This is David. There's a list of outreach events on the website. Most or a lot of the county fairs and stuff are listed there with contact data. So
that's good. Where is that on the website, Dave?
Website or the drive?
Website.
The website.
Yeah, it's probably under activists or something like that. You'll have to dig a little bit, but it's there.
All right,
okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Kevin's got his hand up.
Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, if I just may add, past outreach, the events in the park downtown would be Cinco de Mayo. I don't think there's anything happening. And if there was, we are well past the deadline. People's Fair usually happened late May. Pride Fest usually happened on Father's Day. And between those three events, we would have an audience of about between 750,000 and 1 million people.
But you think all those are canceled this year, Kevin?
I haven't done any research, Mike, so I'm not sure. I was thinking about looking into that.
Sounds like homework for Mark.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Thank you. You said People's Fair, Pride Fest, and Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, well, Cinco de Mayo first, obviously.
Yeah, but that's downtown though, right?
Yeah, it's all Civic Center Park.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jershman.
Kind of a question. I think the last time we were at Pride Fest, there was a right kind of tag along at our booth, and there was complaints, and we got 86th. Now whether that's still in effect, I don't know, but basically we got thrown out for Pride Fest. You could try applying and see if there's a problem.
John?
That's the way I saw it.
Thank you, Mr. Jershman.
John?
Go ahead.
Was that Pride Fest the Colorado Springs Pride Fest, or was it the Denver? Looks like John is frozen.
Okay, go ahead again. Yeah, you're the one that's frozen. He's not.
I didn't hear.
Repeat that, Mr. Gilbranson.
The Pride Fest you got kicked out of, was that the Colorado Springs, El Paso Pride Fest, or was that the Denver?
It was
LPCO? It was Denver?
Yeah. Okay, standing committee reports. Technology.
I don't have anything.
Oh, Mike, could you change the password for legislative?
Yeah, I did that. Did I not email you about that?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks.
Mhm.
And database.
Nothing to add.
Mr. Jershman, go ahead.
This isn't so much a question as it has
to do with El Paso.
County's CBCRM.
It did for like over a year. We finally got it partially resurrected. I can go in and I can, affect contact records and that sort of thing. But what you're reading, CBCRM for the contact records or emailing, that does not work. So we're still not quite up to speed. We're looking now.
Thanks. Okay. Platform committee, sorry, let's go back up. Welcome committee, Mark's not here. Campaigns committee, issues and legislative are not going on right now. Platform committee.
Yes.
Would you?
We submitted our report. So yeah, I don't think there's really we're done until convention.
Thank you. Constitution and bylaws committee.
We submitted our report. We're done. We'll have an addendum up before the deadline for members.
Thank you. Convention committee, Ms. Sutton.
Hi, everyone. I'm sure you heard that we're having a convention May 21st through 23rd. It's at the Denver West Marriott in Golden, and I hope to see everyone present there. We have exciting news this month as we have confirmed Joe Jorgensen. So it will be a reunion of Joe Jorgensen and Spike Cohen. So you want to get your tickets now before we sell out. Get your room before that sells out. And if you want a sponsorship, we do have those available still. And if you want a table, we have some available because that will sell out because we are limited in numbers. I think that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Question.
Yes.
How many tickets do you have in total?
How many tickets do we have total?
Yeah.
I do not have those numbers on my report. But we are selling our tickets fast. So you do want to purchase your tickets soon.
And there's a call-in party at 21079 East Mineral Drive.
Yes.
What's going on with that, Ms. Sutton?
I'm sorry. Yes. Just like Eric had mentioned earlier, we're doing phone banking and shenanigans. So you'll have to come to find out what those shenanigans are. So we need everyone's help to come and call other libertarians. You might be calling your friend and ask them if they are aware that we're having a convention and who's going to be there and to purchase their ticket right now. So that in the past, we've had a great time doing it and it was a great success. So I hope to see a lot of you there too. 4 o'clock at Kevin and Michelle's house.
Thank you. Ms. Ryan.
We're also putting together the auction items on Saturday. If you have anything to donate, we'd like to have it right away, but we'll take things clear up to the deadline of the convention.
Thank you. If anyone has anything to donate for the for the auction. Please try to get it to us by as soon as possible. Yes, Mr. Gershman.
We have 34 registered attendees.
We have 34 sold tickets.
34, no, they're not all sold, some of them are free. Some of them are business only. We have 34 registered.
How many tickets have we sold?
About 5.
29 or so. Okay. We still need another 70.
I had a friend just registered today for 2 people.
Yes.
Just today.
lpcolorado.org, and there's a drop down on the right hand side that says convention. It's at the very top at the right at the drop down. Yeah, we hope to see you there. Yes, we have confirmed Mr. Spike Cohen and Dr. Joe Jorgensen will be speaking. Also, Mr. Scott Horton, Dave Bolden from the 10th Amendment Center, Ashley Shade,
State Senator.
Marshall Burke, who is an elected Libertarian, and Paula Pizzell, and many more. There's a whole list of people that are coming. It's going to be amazing. Most of them are, yeah. A lot of them are, not all of them. Yeah. Okay, let's move it on. We have some new business. A resolution to oppose a vaccine passport. Who wrote that in? Whose is that? Under new business, I'm reading, it says resolution to oppose vaccine passport. Well, somebody put it in and I don't hear anyone making a motion or speaking on the on this item. Okay, CRM phone contest. See the proposal and committee reports. Mr. Atkin, would you like to speak to that?
Sure. This is a proposal to allow counties and regions to compete for a little bit of prize money every month for 7 months, June through December. It's based on the number of phone calls that you make or try to make and record them in the CRM. It's an attempt to get people to actually use the CRM as it was intended and to reach out to party members and other people who might live in your county. And the proposal, as mentioned, is in the committee reports. And if there are any questions, I'll entertain them now.
Any questions? Would someone like to make a motion to approve?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to move to do the program that David talked about, the contest.
Do we have a second?
Second.
There is a motion and a second to do the program that Mr. Atkin just talked about, the phone banking contest. Is there any further discussion on the topic?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How much money are we allocating for prizes?
$75 a month for 7 months. It's $525, I think.
Do we have the budget, Mr. Gershman?
Yes.
He says yes. Any further discussion? Is there any opposed? Anyone opposed, please speak. Hearing none, the motion passes. Next item of business, it says resolution to adopt standing rules anticipating the removal from bylaws. Hang on. John Gershman, would you like to speak to this? Oh wait, is there a motion? Are you making a motion about this, or is this whole thing underneath about that?
Well,
Okay, let me mute mine and then you can speak to that. Go ahead.
Well, since the bylaws are, set in stone, the CMB committee found a number of things that in our judgment didn't really need to be set in stone. We'd like to see them moved to standing rules instead, rather than just kill them. And
my idea is if we put the standing rules now, it'll be a duplication of what's in the bylaws.
But that will be temporary. And if we decide later that we're going to keep it in the bylaws, we don't want it, standing rules, we can always leave it. It's something the board can do, we don't need a membership. So the first one is to do with affiliate representation. And I stuck these in, worded as if they were not worded as resolutions, they're worded as standing rules. Bear with me. This one is affiliate shall make known to the board of the affiliate representative. The affiliate shall make known to the board. The affiliate representative, all party business shall be directed. Now that seems kind of obvious, but we thought it really doesn't be set in stone in the bylaws. There's nothing for it to be in the standing. Part two is the affiliate representative shall be a member. So that's
A member of the Libertarian Party of Colorado, a member of the affiliate, a member of what? Yes.
I believe our bylaws just say a member.
Yeah, we haven't really changed that.
Okay.
But I mean, we can always change it. We can always.
standing rules is something the board has control over and can modify it as needed. So I move to accept this as a standing rule.
The affiliate representation as a standing rule. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the topic? And we are, just to be clear, I have a question. We are not removing any of this from our bylaws. We are adding it as a standing rule.
We are adding it as a standing rule in it, but is it
Correct.
in anticipation of removing it from the bylaws?
No, that would be up to the members at the convention. We don't have any say of what they're gonna vote on. Is there any further discussion on this?
What is the question again?
One caveat, we need to mark it in our understanding that currently it's a bylaw, so that we don't inadvertently change something that's a bylaw.
Our standing rules don't change the bylaws.
That's right. But we can't change the standing rule and then think that we would change that rule.
Oh, okay, got it.
So for reference, that's a bylaw.
Any further discussion? Anyone have any further discussion on this? Nobody's saying anything. Or is there any opposition to this, adding this to our standing rules? Any opposition? I'm not hearing it. Is there any opposition? Any further discussion? Any opposition? Just making sure that everyone on Zoom is actually hearing me. Without hearing any opposed, the motion passes. Next part, format government.
Documents resolved on date.
Is that also yours, John?
Yes, it is.
Speak to that. Or
Same, this is the same as before. It's something that we intend to remove. So recommend sticking to standing temporarily. One reason is when we in our CNP report, when we recommend that this thing we want to take out gets put in the standing rules, if it's already in the standing rules, nobody has to worry about is it really going to be followed through on.
okay, go ahead.
Constitution and bylaws contain no contractions. I'm sorry, this is not resolution. This is the wording of the standing rules I recommend. Okay, Constitution and bylaws contain no contractions, no catchphrases. Provisions should be worded in simple but precise English, and they should be written in so members can easily understand them. To this end, the Constitution and Bylaws Committee and the Style Committee will strive to compose provisions in plain language, guided by the Chicago Manual of Style for the compatible legal writing in plain English by Brian A. Garner.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Any discussion? And would you
Madam Chair, if you're going to allow comments from the gallery.
hold on? Could you?
Sorry.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, I don't hear any discussion right now. I do have an issue with this. I don't think that standing rules should be able to tell us how the bylaws are written, but that's my point of view. There was one of the members of the party who is in attendance would like to speak. Is there, without opposition, we will hear from Ms. Harlows.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was going to say something on the last one, but on this one, because I didn't want to infer a motivation before, but now the motivation was explicitly stated. I think it's completely improper for the board to be seasoning the soup by assisting the bylaws committee and saying, well, you can delete this from the bylaws because the board has already added it to the policy manual. I think that's a completely inappropriate nudge by the board, who should have a hands-off approach when it comes to the decisions of the convention. So if the board wants to do that, they should let the delegates make their own influenced from the board decision and take care of it afterwards. I thought that was the motivation before. I did not want to infer it, but you explicitly stated that was the motivation. That's completely improper.
Thank you, Ms. Harlows. Any further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
I agree with Ms. Harlow's reasoning, and I object to the this motion.
Madam
Anyone
Chair,
else? Go ahead.
I think this could also be done after the convention.
I agree. Any further discussion? Go ahead. Right.
If this passes, if the delegates decide that these are better in another document, what guarantee do they have that that's going to go into another document?
If they order us to put it into a standing rules at that time, I think we would just have to put them at the time of the
So they can
convention.
make an order? It
Yeah.
would be another motion.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, definitely.
Ms. Harlow, yes, right?
Yeah, the convention can order the board to do anything it wants. really. Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
So they don't need a guarantee. They can just order us to put it in a separate document. Any further discussion? I know that there are several opposed to this motion. I will take a roll call if there's no further discussion. Or if you want to remove your motion, that's fine too. I don't know. It's up to you. Okay, we will take a vote. Mr. Vice Chair,
No.
Treasurer, Secretary, Secretary,
Takes a moment to unmute. No.
affiliates,
No.
fundraising,
Yes.
campaigns,
Abstain.
outreach. Mr. Cavan? I need your vote, Mr. Cavan.
I can't hear anything. Give me 1 second. Come back to me.
Okay.
Lost audio. If you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Membership is not present. Communications,
No.
outreach, Mark, are you back? Mr. Spalding, do we have a count?
I got my
Yes.
audio back if I could vote. Sorry.
Okay, well, hold on. Go ahead.
What's your vote?
No.
Do we have a
Okay, that's, yeah,
Spalding?
that's six no's, 1 yes, and 1 abstain.
2 yeses. Treasurer and fundraising voted yes.
That's correct.
I would like to add my vote to this one. It's a no, just for the record. Next on the agenda, it says presentation of rules. The rules are cumbersome, so access to spread across separate documents. To solve this problem, the Constitution and bylaws, special rules of order, and standing rules, which are all distinct documents to be presented on the website, or joint document, each constituent document having its own header, footer, and navigation. Is that the same kind of thing that you wanted to do? What is this? Would you like to speak to it, or are you not making a motion? It's up to you.
I would like to make this motion, and I'm not sure where this belongs. Probably not. I mean, this combined document probably doesn't belong on the website. But my idea is you should be able to go and find the rules in one place. And even though we have a constitution, special rules, and standing rules, if we like stick them all together in one document, it's separated with header and footer and all that, so you can tell when you're on a page what document you're actually in. You can do a search on the entire thing.
And I think that would simplify.
When you have a question about what the rules are, you don't have one place to look.
The way we have our constitutional bylaws on the website, it's very pretty. It's, you know, the article, us and such in that article. You can't go in and look through the whole thing at once. And I think we should have access to all the rules in one place. Now, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the website. It could be in maybe Google Drive. But I think we should do that. We should consolidate all the governing documents in one place.
Mr. Atkin, is this something that's doable?
It is doable.
Yeah, it's doable.
And is it necessary to have a motion to do that? I mean, you could just put it on a Google Drive.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, go ahead, Ms.
It
Ryan.
took me forever to find our standing rules, because the only place you can find them is to go to LPDA and then dig into old documents. That shouldn't be the case. It should be someplace where it's easy, at least for members, to find.
Well, I found them on Google Drive, but I had to search for them.
Even if it's a link on our.
Okay, is this a motion? Are you making a motion?
Yes,
Is there a second? There is a motion that we put all of our rules in one place so it would be easy to search them. Any discussion on the topic?
Second.
I have a discussion item and possibly an amendment if that's possible.
Mr. Harlow, we will hear from Mr. Harlow's without objection.
Would this be on the websites was available to the public or just on the drive? So going ordinance?
Well, that's the question. If you put it on the website, then you kind of have a duplication of the documents because you have the original, the pretty ones, and then you have the useful ones.
Could we put it in one place in LPDA maybe? You know, so it's searchable? Then every member could look for it?
Who knows about LPDA?
We could put a link on the website to LPDA.
I like that.
I mean, that's not hard to do. Mr. Atkin, is this something that we could do?
Sure. We can put a combined document on LPDA and link to it from the website.
So it's something we could do and it wouldn't be too hard?
No, I don't think so. I think basically what I can do is I just take the 3 or 4 documents we're talking about and combine them one after the other and make sure we've got a header and a footer or some sort of separator between them.
Okay. Was there any further discussion?
It's like to say, all it takes is a section break in the document, and you can start a new header and footer, and do another section break when you go to the next document. So it has its own header and footer. So on each page,
what piece you're in.
National has that. Their special rules of the convention follow the bylaws.
Okay. Any other questions from the members of the board?
We got a hand up from the secretary, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Are we going to have a problem with documents getting out of sync? Is there any way we can link to the actual documents, or maybe just only keep our actual documents on LPD?
Probably we can do that. I would have to remove them from the website, but that shouldn't be a problem because we can put a link there.
Any further discussion? Let's take a
Madam
vote.
Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
I thought Mr. Mulder had a proposal for an amendment to this. I don't know if he's had that addressed, but if he had or hadn't, I think the wording of the proposal should be that we, as a board, instruct the technology people to review this and come up with a recommendation for the best way to implement this. I don't think we should be instructing them as to how to implement this proposal.
Is there a second to this amendment? Any objection to the amendment? Without hearing any, the motion is now that, would you repeat the motion so that the secretary can?
Mr. Secretary, appreciate your excellent wordsmithing, but you understand the essence of what I'm trying to say here is that the motion is to instruct David and his team to find the best option for implementing this proposal.
Okay, so the motion would read that it is the motion is to instruct the database and technology to find the best way to implement having all the rules in one place. Is there any discussion on this motion? On the motion as amended? No discussion. Is there any opposition to making the motion? Any opposed to this motion, please speak now. Hearing none, the motion to instruct database and technology to find the best way to implement having all the rules in one place passes. Next thing, resolution to. Who's speaking? Okay. Next thing on the agenda, the resolution to archive affiliates voluntary submitted banking establishment, not account numbers, and EIN number in order to provide support in case of an affiliate has a hostile ex-board member that won't release the information. This would probably arise with a hostile ex-treasurer. LPCO has 2 EIN numbers and a failure of continuity, an example of where this could have helped. Included in the resolution would be whether the information is collected and archived by treasurer, affiliates director, or secretary. It came from John Jershman, and would you like to speak to this, or before you make the motion, or go ahead and make the motion?
It's just that like, if a treasurer of an affiliate takes a hike or is mad or something like that,
and somebody has to step in and take over,
they may need to have, definitely, what bank are we dealing with? And there are a number of things you need the EIN number for. So if we simply keep that
for them for that purpose, it's sort of a backup for them. And it should be voluntary. I mean, we can't demand this information from anyone. We've gotten it from, we have it from El Paso, and we've gotten it from the Boulder.
Yeah,
So we have to start. The question is, who should collect and store this?
Is this due to the debacle in Boulder recently?
I am not sure what the issues were in Boulder, maybe. But I mean, I had some experience with, I had some issues
with the state and with the county, you know, for not having all the information I needed. have to do a lot of digging.
Ms. Ryan?
There's an issue of someone dying too.
That's correct.
And if no one has that, I mean, for us, our children have the numbers they need. They don't have access, but they have numbers. And I think that's a very important.
Mr. Harless, go ahead.
As a general rule, not only the treasurer of the county affiliate, but also the state chair would have that information. So we have two people that we can get that information from, not just one.
Not the state chair, the affiliate chair, I think is what he meant. Yeah, I don't have that information.
Affiliate chair and the affiliate
Is that enough?
I think that if the affiliates want to share that information with the state, they should be able to, and we just have to figure out where it would be held so that it's safe in case of, somebody dies and somebody quits. But it would be up to them, not up to us to do
Like
it.
Spalding.
To save it, sure, we could save it for them, but we can't force an affiliate to give us information they don't want to give us.
I think we should figure out someone to query the affiliates and to store the information somewhere. And that needs, in my mind, that needs to be resolved. Who's
So
gonna do it?
what is the motion? Because there's a whole backstory here. What's your motion?
The motion is to collect and archive this information
and to be used as needed by
an affiliate, but it's still
kind of up in the air as to who
is going to do it. That's not a motion, that's a question.
Okay, Ms. Ryan.
I would think that the motion might read, with John's approval, the secretary will offer to the affiliates to store that information, the EIN and the bank account being used for in case of emergency.
Okay. Mike Spalding has his hand up. Go ahead, Mr. Spalding. Did you mute yours?
It might be, although I'd be happy to store that information, it might be more obvious to have the affiliates director do that, as he's in contact, especially when there's transitions going on and when we have new heads take over.
Mr. Kevin, what is this question that you put up to everyone? I'm not sure what
What's
that.
some type of arbitration? Like, wouldn't that be a safe bet to store all of these passwords with some sort of third-party application?
We were thinking of a continuity binder, I think. We have all the password and whatnot for the state in a continuity binder. Yeah, thank you.
And really, we're not talking about account numbers, just like which bank.
Not an account number, because once it goes to the bank that has the account, they'll be able to look it up.
I think it's kind of a liability for us to have account numbers.
So no account numbers, just the bank, the EIN number.
Oh.
Mr. Spalding, your hand is still up, or do you have something more? Any further discussion? Is there now an actual motion? Hang on, let me type this up. Direct the affiliate director to ask the affiliates for EIN number and bank account if they want to voluntarily And bank name if they want to. With the state and it would kept is continuity binder. Is that the motion? Is there a second? Okay, the motion is direct the affiliate director to ask the affiliates for EIN and bank name if they want to share it with the state, and it would be kept in his continuity binder. Mr. Gilbranson is there a second? There's a second. Is Mr. Gilbranson has his hand up? He's sitting in
Yes.
campaigns.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Any affiliate who opens any kind of a bank account or any kind of financial account should have multiple signers on that account. So if something happens to one, it's almost an admin type of situation. Somebody can still get in and change permissions. You know, if somebody goes rogue or for whatever reason, there should always be multiple signers on that account. You know, I don't think that fits in the motion, but that's just something everybody should consider.
I believe that the reason why this whole thing happened is because Boulder had one person pass away and the other signer in the account left the party. So, or left the board and is not talking to them, and they.
I'm not exactly sure how a bank or financial institution would automatically just give you access had you not been a prior signer, just because you had an EIN number and bank name.
That is a good question, Mr. Gilbranson. It could be an issue.
Yeah, it's just not a solution to the problem.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gilbranson. Anyone else? Any objections?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Mr. Gallant.
Not so much an objection, but I get, yeah, a question of, so would this do us any good to have this information, the bank and the EIN number?
Well, the EIN number would help a lot. It would have helped Boulder quite a bit when they had their situation a couple weeks ago, so that they could even open a new bank account. The bank name, I don't know if it'll help or not.
Really kind of either or. If you know the bank,
They won't give you the information. No, they won't give you the EIN number.
No, they won't give you the EIN number. They might open give you access to your account if you have like a letter that says who you are with this party that's identified with the account. I mean, I think it's possible. But you need the EIN number if you're going to start a new account.
Well, should affiliates want to share that information with us, the motion would be to who gets to store it, because it's not like something we can force anyone to do. Any further discussion? Does anyone else have anything to say? Any objections?
Are we proposing a vote on the amended motion?
Yes.
I would like to see a vote.
You would like to see the vote? Okay, we will go in order. Vice Chair?
Yes.
Treasurer?
Yes.
Affiliates?
Yes.
Fundraising?
Yes.
Campaigns?
No.
Outreach?
Yes.
Membership? Communications?
Yes.
Secretary?
Yes.
The motion passes. And that is all of the business that we have for tonight.
Um,
Madam Chair.
We've got $100 for the Delta County.
Oh, you did. I didn't see.
So moved.
Second, is there a second? Any opposed? Without opposition, the motion passes. Now there's nothing, I see nothing else on the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Meeting adjourned.